Hey folks, you recognize this, don't you? You've all seen the film. I'm sure you have. I'm sure it's a personal favorite, at least those of you with kids. I'm not much of a Disney guy. I think Pixar started out as an interesting company. Since they've been bought out by Disney, I haven't really been that much interested in them. I don't really own any Disney stuff. I don't subscribe to the channel. And I don't really know much about this film. The reason I have this guitar is because I saw somebody, a professional guitarist on YouTube, I forget the name of the guy, play like a whole guitar suite on one of these Cordoba COCO mini guitars. So I went and looked them up on various forums, and people raving about them. You know, for the money, I think they're about $180, $175 maybe. $169, something like that. For the money, people are saying like they're, you know, really well made, decent sounding guitars, not like most undersized or mini guitars that you buy. And I've covered that on numerous times on this channel. A lot of times undersized or junior guitars tend to be poorly made. They sound bad. The spacing of the strings is cramped. They're hard to play. They put kids off. I always have kids start on ukuleles, so I have, you know, sort of a predisposition to not liking most junior guitars, particularly junior classicals, which are problematic, I found, and I tend to stay away from them. Anything under the 7/8 or 3/4 size, I don't even bother with. So, you know, it was with a degree of skepticism that I picked this up when it came available. For cheap. It just needed a few things doing to it. It's otherwise in new condition, and I've got it to where I need it. And I have to concur with the reports that I read. First of all, it's a solid spruce top. See the grain going all the way through, which is a surprise at this price point. Nice Sapele mahogany. In the back, a matte finish. Mahogany neck with the squared off heel. It's got the two strap buttons. Really nice sort of open gear tuners with the you know, buttons, black buttons on the end. There's the front, sort of a Day of the Dead motif all the way along the guitar. I'll give you a closer look on here. It's nicely done. This is etched. So the specs are a little better than what you would expect for a $150, $60, $70, $80 guitar. The best thing about this guitar, though, is the string spacing. I'm actually absolutely fine playing this. It's not too cramped. Yeah, it's got some nice tone to it. It's definitely a smaller body sound. It doesn't punch like a full-size classical, but it doesn't have that weak, you know, cheap kid guitar sound either. It's got some nice tones to it. You know, it's more like a parlor guitar, a classical parlor, than a junior or a child's guitar. So I think it's pretty decent, and I know some of you are going to be laughing at me for featuring this on the channel, but it is a Cordoba guitar. We've had many Cordoba guitars on this channel and found merit in most of them. Maybe all this bling isn't to your taste, but it's nicely done. It's etched. You know, it's not overly done. I prefer this sort of tribal etching to it. You know, if it were like a color scene of the movie or something, I think that would be awful. So I'm glad that they stuck with something simple and rather classy, and I believe that this design guitar also appears in the film. Those of you who have seen the film, those of you who have kids that age probably watched it 20 times, will probably know more what I'm talking about. It's got a nice rosewood board with the inlays on it, and it comes with a decent little Cordoba bag as well. So I mean, I'm really impressed with this. I could hang this on the wall and just have it as a sort of living room guitar, or put it in my car. Well, I wouldn't keep it in the car, but take it with me to the park, or you know, to the beach, or the lake shore, or whatever, wherever you live. It would be a nice little travel guitar as well, and I wouldn't be embarrassed. I mean, I'm not really a Disney person, but I think there's enough cultural aspects in the guitar to where it's just not synonymous with Disney. I see a lot of Day of the Dead sort of motifs in the design. Yeah, it's nicely done, but the best thing about this guitar, and I know they make the minis as well with just the plain tops, is the tone and the playability are not the typical undersized guitar experience, and the quality, I would say, is up there with at least the C1s and C3s, Cordoba guitars, and they've managed to sort of emulate that quality in a smaller size, which is hard to do. Yeah, it's really comfortable to play. It sounds good, and it doesn't feel like a horribly small guitar. I mean, it's a little bit bigger than a baritone ukulele, so there's more to grab onto. But it's just got a really nice, sweet, ringing sound. It sounds like a proper guitar. It's not a toy, which is what I was worried it would be. So. Yeah, even when you play with your fingertips or with your nails, it's got a really nice sound. So I know I'm harping on about this. I'm just kind of surprised. Every time I get these smaller, junior-sized guitars, I mean, I just can't wait to get rid of them. I say that in the kindest way possible, because they're a pain to work on, and they're hard to get right. And I just assume the kids start on a ukulele. I think it's more forgiving and easier to learn than a 6-string guitar with awfully cramped string spacing. But this, they've got the dimensions right. It's nicely done. I would have no problem giving this to an 8-9-year-old kid to learn on. I think it plays really well. All right, folks. We'll see you on the next one, eh?